Hey, look, listen. Spoilers ahead. Evil beware. Now on to the show.
Small city.
This is the squad rolling in and live and in person at KatsuCon 2019. Wow, there's...
Wait a minute. I thought it was the ball.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this extra episode of BakaTaka. Today, we're going to be talking about convention stories.
Whoa, was that George from BakaTaka?
Yes, and BakaTaka fame.
No.
As everyone here, you can stand up and just
No, it's not me.
stand
Don't
up
put
in
a
front
face behind that.
Excuse me, sir, are you the
up?
real Eric from one of the leading cast members of BakaTaka?
No, that's not me. You got the wrong person.
Oh, okay. Is it, are you him?
I think he's lying to me.
No, I'm not. No, it's actually him. I don't know. I agree that Goblin Slayer should have been number one.
Hello, it is me, the new main character from Detroit Become Human. I am an android, but soon I will be human.
Is this like after hours stuff?
No.
So we can cuss now?
No, I mean like after hours episode. We're relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
doing whatever.
We're more relaxed.
I'm literally playing a phone game.
We're
right
more
now.
chill right now.
I'm drawing a picture and I can't draw at all.
And I'm updating my mouth to say Major is the best anime ever.
Hell yeah,
It's not.
it is.
It's not.
Am I lying? Is my mouth lying to you?
Look, because
Does
I
that
know
not
that
say
I
number
haven't.
one?
If I haven't watched it, it can't be good.
Anyway,
Name
this
one
is
thing
the
that's good I haven't
convention
watched.
episode that we're talking about.
Yeah,
Because-
we've been to our fair share of
Yeah,
conventions.
and
Yeah.
we just got
Two.
back. We just got back from one.
Yeah,
Well, not like literally just. Like,
Last-
just as in a little while
It was a
ago.
week ago.
but we attended KatsuCon 2019.
Hey everybody, this is KatsuCon. This is all that showed up for today. This is the convention center. This is the convention center. Sam is our lead cosplayer this year.
Is there only?
He's yeah, you're the only one. I don't see any more cosplay.
I want to snap my neck.
This is George.
No, it's not.
He's one of the BakaTaka
Voice modulation.
lead cast members.
Oh, it's not me.
Skill and precision is what is needed to park like a man.
We attended, but were we like really there? You know what I'm saying?
mean-
I was pretty sure I was there, physically, spiritually, mentally.
Hey, how can
You were
mirrors be
there
real if our eyes
spiritually?
aren't? How can mirrors be real if
Get-
our eyes aren't?
Get out of here,
You
Chase.
calm down, Jaden Smith.
Sorry about that.
I'm
you
almost
should
out of
be.
oil.
Anyway, let's see. So yeah, me and Eric, we actually met going to Otakon 2013.
Was it 2013?
2013, because you went with Jeff on 2012. And he was
Wait,
telling
so
me
the
about
first
it.
year we went is when we saw
Yeah,
Ormo.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So year one, so going before that is 2012. Actually, Jeff went to the 2011 Otakon.
He did by himself.
Yeah. Well, he went with Shelby because
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't know?
Shelby went to an anime convention?
Shelba. It was
Yeah.
different times, bro.
Yeah.
Different times.
They actually just went to the Uematsu concert.
The what?
Uematsu, Nobuo Uematsu, the guy who does Final Fantasy music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was doing a concert.
So it was barely anime.
right.
Come
It
with
was
me
like
and you'll see.
Softcore anime.
Yeah. if you want to give it a label.
We went to Uematsu too.
Yeah, that was at
Otakon last
Otakon
year.
last year. Yeah, Otakon 2018.
It And Jeff stayed in line for like 3 hours, and he basically saved us seats somehow.
Yeah, he got us seats somehow. So it was like a huge line to get in there, and we walk up there. They're like, "Yeah, there's like 2 seats left in here. You want it?" And we're just like, "We don't really know."
I guess we'll take it. We're not doing anything else.
So we walked in, we sit in the back, and we told Jeff, "Hey, we're in the room." And he was like, "Oh, where are you at?" We're like, "We're in the back. It doesn't really matter." He was like, "I got seats for you." Been up here for like 4 hours.
So we walk, and we're like the 5th row back or something like that.
Yeah. We're just like, we don't even know if we want to go. We just kind of meandered up here because we had did we have Emily's brother with us?
Yeah, we had Sam with us.
Yeah, we had Sam B with us.
Sam B.
Yeah, and we were just like, we don't know if we really want to do this. And we're just like, yeah, sure, we'll try. And we got some of the best seats in there.
Yeah.
That was Otakon last year?
Yeah, Otakon 2018.
Yeah, it was the day you had to come back for church.
Yes.
Yeah, and we went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Because I remember I beat Sam B at VR like a lot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because
I was talking to the dude at the booth right next to it about his game.
That's right. Yeah. It was a fun game. There was some like shooter game where you could use like a grappling hook, and also you had a gun. And you're just like, basically, there was each platform had like a pillar in the middle, and you could hide behind the pillar, and they also had like a little wall around the edges, and you could grapple hook over to one. You would absorb it, basically capture the post, and then you could whip over to it, and basically just keep whipping around each other and like shooting each other.
You told me about this before, and you were like retardedly good at it.
Well, I wasn't as much as that. Is Sam,
you were just better than Sam?
Yeah, Sam said his headset like wasn't tight enough around his head, so it kept falling down.
Yeah,
which that's something you kind of want to tell people about, but
it's Sam B.
It's Sam B.
Yeah, he's kind of easygoing,
chill dude,
pretty chill.
Chillax.
I mean, KatsuCon 2019 was kind of uneventful. If I want to put it that way,
it was very chill. Just like
it was very
more
relaxing in the sense that we didn't do a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot more cosplay there than Otakon.
That's just how KatsuCon is.
It was my first KatsuCon, so I didn't know that.
Excuse me.
It was easily the majority of people were cosplaying.
Oh yeah,
that's insane.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, is that the real Mr. Compress?
I am the real Mr. Compress. You're not even wearing your mask. I know. So you're a liar.
Is that the real Mr. Compress?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Compress, is that you?
It is me.
Excuse me, sir, is that the real Mr. Compress?
Not yet.
Oh. Okay.
I feel sorry for anyone who was there and wasn't going to the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that has to be the strangest thing to ever walk into.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does the hotel... Do they warn people?
I think so. I
feel like they have to.
You'd assume they
I think there is a newsletter and stuff on the Gaylord site that says KatsuCon's happening that weekend.
Oh, okay.
And most of the rooms get booked by KatsuCon people anyways.
That's true.
So, I mean, if you probably try to book a room now, most of them are probably booked for next year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you can probably already buy your tickets for next year. And
I think you have to wait like a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe about a month.
People jump all over those rooms because they're nice rooms.
Yeah.
That's what it's.
They're
I
not
mean,
cheap
just from the
rooms.
rest, just
And
from
you can
what I did
decorate
see
the
about
balcony.
the hotel,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Enhance.
Where is it?
It's over there, but with the old bay.
Oh, I see it.
What do you mean, where is it? And a Hulk is still up there.
Yeah, it also probably depends on where you get from that, like which part of the building.
Yeah.
There was what was it, 2 years ago, when the fire alarm got pulled.
See, last year.
Is that what it was? Someone just pulled the fire alarm, or like was there actually something that happened?
I think there was a kitchen fire.
So,
or something like that.
Was it last year? Was the year I didn't go, right?
No, it was 2 years ago that you didn't go.
Okay, so then it was.
That was just me and Jeff.
Yeah. So it was the year before or after that.
It was. Let's see. I don't think it was last year. I don't think it was.
So then it must have been 3 years ago.
It must have been a few years ago.
Yeah, there was it was a fire in the kitchen or something like that. Yeah. And we were in the merchant room. And it was like the very first time ever. Chase was like, "Hey, I'm going to walk over here and look at this." Very first time ever. Chase has never been near me and Jeff. Decided to do something on his own for like 30 seconds. Staff starts going around like, hey, we need to start evacuating the building. We didn't like take note of it at first.
Yeah.
It was just like this tiny little lady walking around.
What are we doing? What?
And we're just like, what? Is she serious? And then some staff came up to me and Jeff were like, hey, you guys got to get out of here. The building's being evacuated. And we're like, oh, we got to get our friend. We're like, no, you got to get out now. We're like, okay. We get out there. It's freezing cold. Oh my goodness.
Cold. He doesn't want to be cold anymore.
Dang, that's insane.
It was like
A lot of people didn't have jackets on.
It was like single digit weather. There was
Yeah.
people handing out like refugee blankets to keep everybody warm. You just felt bad for the people that were in like minimal cosplay and they were forced out.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like taking shelter in like some of the shops like around the place.
Yeah. Some people were like trying to find furries to hug them to stay warm.
I believe that
Yeah.
100%.
But Chase got put on the other side of the gate because Jeff and I got pushed out to the front. Chase got pushed out to the back.
Yeah, I just got pushed right out the doors.
So we had to like wander around in like sub-zero temperature to find Chase.
Yeah. And
That's insane.
like I eventually found you guys like basically still on the Gaylord property where
Yeah.
they were told to get off.
Yeah.
And like you guys were hiding behind like a wall or something.
Yeah, we had to go to the flag post in the back behind the wall to find you.
Yeah.
And then we had to go to Build-A-Bear.
Because Shelby needed
Yeah.
it.
Shelby needed her Valentine's Day
Yeah.
present. What are you doing, George?
I don't know, man. I'm just kind of playing around while talking.
Let's see. Another big crazy thing that also happened was it was Otakon 2014.
Okay.
The first one that Sam decided to come with us.
Oh. Oh my, this is...
So let's see. We made the mistake of being like, yeah, we got time. We can go get our badges on Thursday a little bit later.
Well, it's just like the 2 years before that, we just walked in and got our badges.
Yeah, and this is at the time when they didn't mail badges
Yeah.
yet.
Mhm.
And so we got there, I believe it was about 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And the line was like, we got to the front door and we're like, okay, so the line looks like it's going this way. So we follow the line and then it's going this way.
And we're like, okay.
And then we keep following it.
And then it like wraps around the building.
And then it starts heading back the other direction.
And we're like, okay.
So, and yeah, it ended up like wrapping around the building twice, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
It like snaked around the building twice.
yeah. And so we got in line. And let's see, if I'm not mistaken, you could get your badges till like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we waited in line, and basically 10 o'clock rolled around, but they still kept giving people badges.
Yeah.
And we did not make it into the building yet.
Oh, that's the worst.
At
So-
time.
They're still handing out badges. It's hot outside. It's like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah. Even with
Humid.
the sun down and everything.
Yeah, it's humid and everything. And we can see the door. We're there.
We're
almost there.
about 50 people away from the door.
And then the staff comes out and we're like, we're not taking any more people. Anybody in the line beyond this point needs to go home. Come back tomorrow.
Man.
And then everybody's like, wait, are they really doing this? And then Otakon, for some reason, sent out this tiny woman with like three guys around her as like guards. And she was trying to tell people we're not taking any more people. Don't shoot the messenger. And everybody was about to riot. Like this was happening during like the Baltimore riots too.
I feel so bad for that person.
Yeah, it was.
That's just, and you know they're all volunteers.
Oh yeah,
Which is like, oh man,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst.
yeah. I mean, like she got the short end of the stick there. I thought people were going to go tip over an ice cream truck.
Just smash down
Yeah.
the door and running. Give him a badge. Give
That- That single-handedly is probably the worst convention experience I've ever had.
Looking back at it now, it's not bad anymore, you know, I don't
Yeah.
have to do that anymore.
Right.
But like looking back at it now, it's like, it's a good story.
I mean, it's a good story that you tell people, but like,
Hey, that's all you need.
if you're experiencing, you're like, this is not fun.
Well,
I'm
let
sitting
me
here.
tell you.
I'm sweating. I'm angry.
Yeah. The water guy passed by. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I forgot to buy water. Oh, can't
Yes.
leave line.
That was
Yeah.
That was a big yikes. And like the next day, we walked up and it was like 20 minutes. We got our badges.
The next day, we came back at 5 a.m. because it was midnight when we left. We went to the hotel, went to sleep immediately, woke up at 5, came back immediately. The line went across one side of the building.
Yeah.
And
we got our badges in like 20 minutes.
We got our badges.
And then we had nothing to do.
And then we had nothing to do. But we're like,
sit there just waiting for panels and things to start.
Keep in mind, at this point, Sam still hasn't gone into the convention center until we got into the convention center that morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is his first con.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
I just remember we were all tired. We were angry.
Because we got 5 hours of sleep. You know, so less than that.
And then I just remember we still have that picture where we're in the game room and you're passed out on that cold concrete floor.
It wasn't cold. I was laying on my backpack, wasn't I?
No.
I wasn't?
You were just on your side, on your hands. You were just knocked out, my dude. It's cold concrete floor.
I was tired.
You were knocked out.
It was a long day.
Yo, it was a short night.
It was a long day.
And we couldn't stay awake for panels. There was nothing we could find to do.
Yeah. And then we went and got Mexican, if I'm not mistaken, or Pizza Hut.
Back then at the hotel we stayed at, we always ordered Pizza Hut.
That's the Otakon thing.
Yeah.
That we do the first night Pizza Hut.
I have never been a fan of Pizza Hut. I never liked it. My mom loves Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I can't do the best.
You did Pizza Hut with us when we. I
mean, I'll eat it. It's just I don't enjoy Pizza Hut.
I think we did Domino's.
Did we do Domino's?
No, Domino's.
When we stayed at the hotel outside the metro station.
I guess it was just pizza then. Pizza and wings.
Yeah.
Originally, we always I'll do Domino's.
Well, George,
I just don't like Pizza Hut.
What was it like for your first convention?
That was Otakon 2017.
2018.
Right? Was it 2018?
It was last year.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
It was last year.
It's 2019.
Yeah, but dude.
Yeah, so Otakon 2018. Man. I think I was just kind of awestruck, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect going in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys had invited me before, but I was just never in a position, time, money, just all that stuff.
I remember one year you said, I don't want to go because I need to save my money to get these Wii games.
That sounds like something I would have said.
And we're all just like, George,
come on,
you could come have fun with us at a convention that you would enjoy.
To be fair, I don't know what Wii games they were, but I never had like a super big library.
But he never got
them.
them.
They're pretty good. The ones I have are pretty great. It was probably Wii U first of all.
I've seen your Wii.
I don't remember. I just remember
well, it's 2018.
Jeff told me George isn't coming because he decided to save money for Wii games.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Still, man, I love my Wii. Leave me
like,
alone.
It sounds like you're saying Weeb. Weeb games.
But
a Nintendo Wii games.
Weeb games on the Wii.
No, but I was just kind of awestruck. I didn't know how much cosplay to expect, and there were some really good ones that year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of walking. There was a lot more sitting than I expected too.
Yeah,
you just kind of find the softest place and just sit down for a while because you're like, what else to do?
George in his natural habitat.
Been to the merchant hall 15 times, walked around, been to the artist gallery 3-4 times.
Yep.
And just walked around, get things, and you just kind of take it all in. There's just so much. It's almost like sensory overload those first couple times you're there.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it.
I mean,
I did it again.
you always see moments where people have like that snapping moment at a con.
I don't know if I've witnessed this.
So it was my very first con. I think it was no, it might have been the second convention.
2012 or 2013.
It might have been 2013. I just remember I was in the merchant hall.
Okay.
And I was just, perusing the figures, looking at some plastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing the normal thing you do in a merchant hall. I see this dude just standing there, right? Probably, he was probably around the same age as me, probably a little bit younger, a couple years younger. And he was just saw him looking there, looking up at the merchandise. And I was like, okay, he's just doing his thing. He grabs a figure of Asuna from Alpha Online.
What a great decision.
So he
We're
grabs
starting
it,
off good.
and he just stares at it, right?
Okay. Nothing
I'm
wrong
like,
yet.
Okay, there's nothing normal yet. And he's just staring at it. I go do my thing, come back like a minute later. Dude is still just staring at it. Hasn't moved. And then I'm like, okay, this dude is contemplating something. And then you see the moment where his brain just snaps. And the look on his face is just excitement. He was like, I'm going to do it. And then he just goes over to the guy and buys it. I was like, that man just snapped and he's having the greatest time at the convention.
That's amazing. I love it. Yeah. See, I don't think I've had a moment like that yet.
Right.
Where I just broke down and spent I don't know how much money.
And it's not even like spending money. It's just like the moment they snap and you're like, I'm at a con. I'm just gonna do something.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is really fun. It's part of the con.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had that moment yet, but I'm sure I will at some point.
I think I kind of did when I was looking at the Aegis one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because it was when P4 Arena came out, because we were playing it when we go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and the merchant comes over and he's like, "Hey, you play Aegis too? That's my favorite character." And I was like, "Well, it's mine too." So then I bought it because it was a pretty cheap figurine too.
Yeah.
But I've only gotten a couple of them now since then.
Yeah.
I've gotten Yusuke, Chad Yu, and Yukiko's.
I haven't bought figures in a while. This is the first year.
Figures are expensive.
I know. This is the first year in probably 2 years now that I bought something during a con. Like figure. I didn't actually buy it at the con.
Yeah.
I bought it during the con.
He was just like, oh, this is cheaper.
Yeah. Well, it's the Kotobukiya figure. Yeah. The horror shoujo statue.
Man, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
that's a good figure.
It's Ash Williams from Evil Dead, but it's gender bent female Ash Williams.
Best horror movie ever.
And I was at the con. It was $100 at the convention. I know they normally like upmark stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with everyone there,
$100
it makes sense.
I get on Amazon. It's like $55. Take it or leave it. Mark down 20%. Mark down again for Prime. I'm like, this seems like an easy buy. Do I want to spend $100 here at the con with tax or $55 on Prime?
But you could have it now.
No, when they try to give you that.
Have you got it yet?
Oh yeah, I showed George's over.
It's nice.
It came out.
I like it. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold on it.
And they also had the Edward Scissorhands one.
Oh,
as a female Edward Scissorhands from the same Kotobukiya line.
Girl Johnny Depp. I thought Johnny Depp was a girl.
It's pretty nice. That one showed up yesterday.
Yeah,
but that's the first time in a while I've bought plastic.
Let's see. One of the most insulting things that happened at a convention was it was last year. Me, George, Sam, Aaron, and Emily all went and watched A Silent Voice.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love that movie.
Really good movie.
That movie is amazing.
Credits start playing. That awesome song starts playing, and they're like, all right, let's go. And I was like, guys, the song. It's so good. Fine. I didn't want to wait there and then have to wait out, look for them in a line.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
yeah.
I was so insulted.
Did anybody clap?
Oh, they
clapped.
Yeah.
Everyone loved that movie.
It was a weep clap,
Still, clapping after a movie is disgusting.
It's still,
I don't think there's anything wrong with clapping after a movie. It depends on the movie, though. Like, if it's something...
If it's a Star Wars or Marvel movie, get out. Violators will be shot. Survivors should be shot again. If you clap after a Marvel movie...
No. So, I agree in every case except for opening night. If it's like the first...
No.
If it's like the first 1, 2, maybe even 3 showing, like the midnight
If
release
you're at the
kind of
very
thing.
midnight showing, sure, I'll allow clapping.
Yeah.
If you're on like the Thursday after release at 7 o'clock and you dumb idiots are clapping, get out.
Yeah.
If you fought,
I'm with you there. Yeah, I can agree with that. Now, for Star Wars 7, interesting case, because we hadn't had Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith back in what, 2007?
Still,
Was that-
opening night's fine,
2006.
but
Oh, see, opening night, there was a round of applause, I think 3 times when
or clapping during a movie.
I know, and I loved it. Okay, I am that filthy casual.
I'm sick of you. Let's go back.
we
to
had
the stories.
we had them clapping when just the credit, not the credits. So let's see. I think there were 3 times. There was the opening crawl started, clapping. The opening crawl ended, and the movie started, clapping, and then the movie ended, clapping. And it was
disgusting.
the best part of that is the fact that you know that the people you're watching it with want to be there. You're not watching it with some family that's got their 3, 4-year-old there.
you talking about a silent voice?
Oh my god. No, I'm
Star
talking
Wars.
Star Wars, man.
I'm sorry, I got
Yeah,
lost.
we-
I
we're
thought we were
not
talking about
weebs.
Where are you?
I thought we were talking about convention stuff.
No. Forget conventions. This isn't a
No,
convention
go back
episode
and-
anymore.
Have you ever seen Chase mad?
Chase gets mad?
Have you ever seen him mad?
No, Chase gets mad? Chase doesn't get mad. What are you
I've
talking about?
experienced Chase in discomfort and anger at a convention.
He didn't deserve it.
That doesn't sound right.
He didn't deserve it.
So we were. So Jeff and I are we're pretty decent fans of Toho. We played some of the games. We like the music. We know some of the stuff that's going on in the universe. So we like to go to some of the Toho panels. We were sitting outside a panel one year. Chase is literally on his phone playing
Potion maker.
Potion Maker. Because he finally got a phone that can play games.
Okay.
He gets Potion Maker. He's just tapping on his phone, going crazy, making potions, having fun.
Yeah.
Dude's sitting down next to him. He was like, "Hey, have you played Toho before?" And Chase is like, "Oh, I've played a little bit of it, and just checking out this panel." And he was like, "Toho has changed my life." And Chase was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he just keeps talking to Chase and talking about Toho and how it changed his life and everything. You could actually see the physical discomfort coming over Chase and just like wanting to look at us and be like, "Get me out of here."
I just
That's
wanted
amazing.
to play Potion
I've known Chase for a while now. I've never seen him like physically in discomfort and have like anger over him.
Wow. This is, yeah. I've never seen, you're so, I don't even know what the word, I don't even want to say easygoing because that is an understatement. You just don't, you're just so laid back. Like constantly. I don't think I've ever seen you get angry.
He just wanted to tell me about his favorite game, and I was so mean to him.
See, you even,
I stopped. I ignored him.
Yeah.
He just kept talking, so I ignored him. And I just was playing Potion Maker. I was looking down at my phone the whole time, and I wouldn't acknowledge him talking to me.
oh man.
And he just wanted to tell me about his favorite game, and I treated him so bad.
I know. I mean, I don't blame you because like you didn't really know a whole lot about Toho, and you really just wanted to play Potion Maker.
Yeah.
You were just tapping on your phone.
I was like, "Look, I'm getting the blue potions now."
Because I'm like, when we sat down, and you started playing. You had this stupid ass grin on your face, and you look over at me and Jeff. You're like, "Look, I'm making potions. I'm going in." It's
Because
just
it was one of those where you just keep tapping,
Yeah.
and it keeps adding potions, and you just keep getting in stuff. So it was like that Trump one where you keep flinging
Yes,
bills and
yes.
stuff, and you just keep getting more bills.
I remember that, yeah.
But this one had like weebly stuff in it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Toho guy was ruining that experience for Chase. And he just wanted to sit down, relax, and be in line.
And we got in the room and during the panel. He was loud.
He was loud. I remember that.
He was loud, and he sat somewhat close to us, if not beside us again.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, that reminds me too. When we went to what was it, Voice Actors After Dark?
I think so." Is
It-
that the? Yeah,
It was
definitely
the
that.
second time Sam went.
Yes.
We went to Voice Actors After Dark, and there was that one dude in a white T-shirt that was just yelling really loudly, trying to be funny, and the entire room was booing him. Because he tried to get up
man.
stage to say something funny and ask like a joke to one of the voice actors. I think it was just Channing Tatum, right?
Yeah, it was either him or
Now explain who that actually is for.
So, his actual name is J. Michael Tatum,
Yes.
but we call him Channing Tatum. So
Yeah, it was either him or it was Max Middleman. And
it was one of them. I remember because it was that we met that girl who was cosplaying as
yeah, that's right.
Once a Girl Knows I Can.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we met her and she hung out with us.
Yeah,
And this dude, he was trying so hard to be funny, but he was coming off as obnoxious. And everybody was booing him.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I'd hate that.
Yeah.
That
which also he should have expected at that kind of panel.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the kind of panel it was.
he was even being obnoxious in the line.
Yeah.
And everybody was just trying to tell him to shut up or leave them alone.
I just remember that there was what's it called? I was talking to Jeff and there was this guy like over my shoulder and he was trying to get my attention and he was like waving at me. But it was on my blind side and I didn't see him. And I like kind of like looked over and once I looked over and like looked at him, I did the whole like head turn thing and he like looked away. It was just like I looked over and I was like, Jeff, that guy should talk to me. He was doing this.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I feel bad for stuff like that, you know?
I mean,
That's
it's super
rough.
cringy in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're there, you're like, this is so cringy, and I feel bad for him, but he's so obnoxious.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the cringe has kind of been like pushed out. It's more of like memes now.
It's when memes do come out, they do get pretty cringy.
Yeah.
But most of the cringy stuff is kind of gone now.
Yeah, a
'Cause
lot of it.
I used to cringe over some of like the social anxiety people that would come up.
There
and
was a lot of them.
They would come up and ask. You could see them like pacing back and forth.
Okay.
And you know something's on their mind.
Mhm.
And they finally like worked up to ask somebody the lines like, is this the line for this panel?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it would always be me, Jeff, or Eric.
Yeah.
Who they would ask.
They
wouldn't ask anyone
Every
else.
single time.
No matter what line we were in, it would always be one of us.
Yeah. So I mean, but like you could see them.
Because you're approachable.
I guess, but like you feel bad, like a little cringed at the same time. It's like you know what they want to ask, but you know it's like
Yeah.
and it's like it must suck. But I mean, come on, dude,
Well,
you can do it.
You got this.
But I mean, they all usually end up like, hey, is this a line for so and so? We're like, yeah, this is a line for that. Go around the corner, and the line should be over there. And they're like, okay, thank you, cool. And then they just dart off.
Remember when what did we try to get to at KatsuCon this year? And we saw the line. It was the the voice acting
Yeah,
stuff.
should voice actors say.
Yeah, and we got there in the line. They're just like the lines that way, go down and go all the way to the end. And we walked around and it was just like, oh, this is the line.
Yep.
We're not going to this.
yeah. And they put it in a small room.
Yeah.
Why would they put it in a small room?
I figure something like that would be in a ballroom.
yeah, it certainly should have been.
Yeah.
There was
Should have put the what's the thing we went to? The AMVs.
AMVs.
Should have put that in a small room. There were not many people there.
So the
That would have
AMVs
done better in like a smaller room.
The AMVs they put in those rooms because they need the screens, and it's because it's kind of like people tend to come in and also leave during it. And
That's
then
true.
More people come later. So.
And AMVs are a bigger thing at like Otakon. Because they usually have that in a ballroom, and it's usually pretty full.
Yeah.
Okay, it certainly wasn't for KatsuCon.
KatsuCon's more cosplay.
Yeah,
So I
there's
can
a
imagine
lot of
it's not
cosplay.
really AMV stuff for KatsuCon.
Yeah. AMVs are also dying a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You know what else is dying? That game room at KatsuCon.
The Toho games were so like they weren't even there anymore.
They're not even there.
The merchant.
I didn't step foot.
Yeah. The merchant guy who's usually there
Mhm.
with the table, I wasn't there at all.
Mhm.
There was like
They didn't have the projector or anything.
They had the projector. They just
They had a couple projectors.
They had
but I
a
think it was all for the tournament stuff.
Smash Bros. Corner to the left. They had a bunch of pachinko, not as much as last year.
Oh.
And yeah, they like cut the amount of tables in half that there was for like
Jeez.
console games and stuff. There was like nothing.
Because I remember
It was pretty slim.
the first year we went to KatsuCon, we walked up and like, you need to go check your bag over there. And we're like, this is kind of stupid. Why? They're like, security reason console, blah, blah, blah. We just want you to use our stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. Checked our bags in. We went in. I remember Jeff brought in a sandwich and dropped part of it on the Marvel 2 cabinets.
No.
So he had to run and go get a napkin and clean that up before. I think because we were VIP, so we got in.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you actually did that for okay.
Yeah, so he had to run and go get
That
a
was the
napkin and
first.
clean off the Marvel 2 cabinet real quick. But I remember the first year was fun because there was a lot of stuff in there. I remember we played Persona for a little bit.
Yeah.
We played Toho for a while.
We played Persona. We found Toho, and we're just like, this
Yeah.
is so much fun. Even though it was like,
Yeah.
it's an alright game.
We had fun in the game room the first year. The second year, we went in there. We literally just went in there to play Toho and then left.
Yeah. And then ever since then, it's just been Toho.
Yeah.
We like walk around, look at everything, and then we're like, okay, Toho
Yeah.
Fighter.
I mean,
Mhm.
this last year, I was like, I don't even feel like checking my bag or stepping foot in there.
When I went with Jeff 2 years ago, I think we played. There was like this one poverty fighter called like Fist on Fisticuffs or
Yeah,
something.
you
like
told me
that.
about that.
Yeah, it's it was fun. It was
Mhm.
like they're huge chibi characters, and it's
Yeah.
all like really tight combat and stuff.
I
Because
think-
like everything you have to wind up to punch.
I think you
Yeah.
told me to look it up or showed me a video of it, but I remember
Yeah,
I remember you showing me that.
that's a fun game.
I remember one year, was it Otakon where we went to the weird games? Yeah, it was Otakon. It was Weirdest Games. And, I remember it was Otakon one year. It was Weirdest Games, and that's when we learned about that fighting game Arm Joe.
Arm Joe, that's right.
Based
Yeah,
off the
Les Miserables.
like
It's a Les
this.
Miserables.
I've
fighting
seen
game.
it. It's impressive.
They
The
showed
guy,
us that. I was
it's just-
like, how did you ever find this? And it's like the way they got the name is because Arm Joe is like how you say a Japanese word of a certain word in Les Mis.
yeah.
And we're just like, what? we played it for a while. Some of the characters are broken. Some of them
Oh,
are
I bet,
fun.
yeah.
Some of them don't make sense.
And that's what adds to the beauty.
Yeah. But that was during the Otakon streak. It was like 3 or 4 years where we went to the Toonami panel. We went to Weirdest
We
Games.
went to Nami. We went to OC Remix.
Yeah, we went to Weirdest Games. We went to the Toho panel.
Yeah, we had our set panel things that we would go to, and then we would always find a bunch of fun panels.
Yeah. We went for like 3 years straight. We always tried to go to the 18 plus panels, but we'd get there early, see the line, and we're like, nah.
Yeah, we would get our wristbands,
Mhm.
come back to get in line. The line would be long. We were just like, it's not worth it.
And we'd end up just going back to the hotel to get Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
There you go.
Pizza Hut or
I will
Mexican.
say that's one thing that I haven't been very impressed with so far going to these conventions. I haven't really gone to any panels that, and I think
Yeah.
part of that I blame myself just because I haven't really looked super hard to find something I would find interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I have looked and I've seen stuff, not much of it seems like things I want to go to.
Yeah.
And then the things that I do, it's like you have to get there so early and just sit out of everything else for
Yeah.
a couple hours
That's
just
kind
to get in. And it's like,
It's kind of why
come
we
on.
stopped doing panels. Just like we don't want to prep for like an hour and a half just to get to a panel.
and then find out that it's like not like the
Mhm.
person running it like just like can't run a panel really.
Yep. Because I remember there was that like horror anime one that
Uh-huh.
we went to, and the dude actually didn't have anything prepared, and he couldn't get the room to quiet down. It was CatsCon because I remember we were in the very front because we were VIPs,
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Huh.
and I was just shouting out random horror stuff that I've seen, and he was talking about it.
I remember
That's the
that.
I remember I yelled, "How about the Devil May Cry anime?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a great one." And he was telling the room about Devil May Cry, and everybody in the back was like, "We can't hear you," and half the room was just talking. And I'm just like, "This is not a good panel."
There was one where I think there was this one guy running it. I can't remember what it was, but we got in and basically he couldn't get his computer to work, so he just kind of had to do stuff like on the spot, like to run his.
Was it that the Dragon Quest one?
I think it might have been.
Yeah,
I remember. I didn't know what it was about.
I think it was like the evolution of like Square Enix and Dragon Quest.
It might have been that. Yeah, and he couldn't get his computer to turn
Yeah,
on.
I mean, the
That's
dude-
like to run it.
But
yeah.
I mean, the dude knew stuff. He was just rattling off information. He was
Yeah.
basically doing the whole thing from memory.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was a good panel, even though
I mean,
he couldn't get his.
I mean,
laptop
that's why they say it's run by fans. You know, these guys are dedicated to what they love, and that's awesome.
There's the Persona panel.
That was a weird one.
That was a weird one, but I remember the moment when we went to it, and he was naming off all the like Persona games.
Yeah,
and he's like, "How many of all played 3?" And everyone's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "4? Yeah!" And he's like, "How about that Persona 4 Arena?" And the guy like, everyone's like, "Yeah!" And then he's like, "Persona Q?" And even less, it was like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "How about that Persona 4 Arena Ultimax?" And there was like me and like 300 people there who were like, "Yeah!"
I remember that because we were sitting there because we were sitting there for that panel, but we were in the panel before that.
Yeah, the idol panel.
Yeah, because they're like, there's not going to be a room clear, so you can just go in.
Yeah,
we're like, okay. We went there. It was a panel about idols. We didn't know what we were going into. We get in there and we're like, oh, we've seen most of the stuff. And the weirdest thing, like, 2 was behind us. There was just like this dude in a tank top, like this normal Chad dude. He's like super hype about idols. I'm like, this fandom gets to everywhere.
It's man, I love anime.
Talking
it just
about
reaches
yeah.
everybody.
And he was super hype about like Idolmaster and some. Well, that was the one they were talking about. That full moon one.
Yeah,
where the girl gets throat cancer.
Yeah,
and she loses her voice, but she wants to become a singer. So basically, this magical animal comes and turns her into a magical girl, so she can be a singer. And while she's explaining the throat cancer, this dude in the back just goes like, Jesus!
To be fair, I think that's an appropriate response.
I mean, as she was explaining, everybody was just like, is this really what happened? I've already seen it, so I knew what we were going into. The dude back there was just freaking out. Everybody was just like,
he was like, no. You can't do that. Not to an idol.
Yeah,
not to a little girl.
Well, that's actually one of the better panels we went to.
Yeah.
She knew a lot of stuff about all the idol shows.
And then I told you, because I told you from the beginning, I was like, there's Perfect Blue's going to come up. And you were like, nah, man, it's not coming up here. And then she throws up the scene where what's his face gets stabbed in the eye. Like the one scene that you definitely can't show at a panel like that that's not 18 plus.
Yep.
With a dude getting a screwdriver rammed into his eyeball.
And she showed it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I got on there. And
was just like, she wasn't allowed to play that.
Because she got to like Millennium Girl. I was like, okay, you can do that. And then Chase is like, that's a movie on there. They're going to show Perfect Blue. I'm like, no, they can't do that. They won't do that. He's like, they did that Millennium Girl as a movie. I was like, they can't do that.
Millennium Actress, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millennium Girl, Millennium Actress, same thing.
Yeah, basically.
And next thing you know, dude's getting a screwdriver rammed into him. Chase is like, I told you. I told you. You're right, Chase.
Because the whole room's just like, all the people who hadn't seen Perfect Blue.
Man.
It was just like, what's going on?
I mean, I haven't seen it, so sounds like something I'd watch, though.
It's a whole line of... It's
Satoshi
another...
Kon.
Yeah. It's another one of those directors that has a very distinct style.
Except
he's very into psychological stuff.
Yeah, and there's
super stuff.
And there's only gonna he's not making any more anime movies anymore.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess I got it.
Rest in peace, Satoshi Kon.
Rip and pepperoni.
None of those people are George.
I told him go to the elevators. I told him opposite side of where we were last night.
I don't see him.
We're hunting an idiot.
Where is he? Is he up there?
He's out there. See him.
You see him over there?
Yeah, he's right there.
There he goes. There he is.
I mean, I think we've told you the story about the Final Fantasy panel.
Final Fantasy. I don't remember.
It's the very first year Jeff and I went to it. It was 2012, before Chase's time.
Okay.
So we were looking through the panel list, and one was Square Enix, whatever. It had some title, but it was basically Square Enix stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get into the panel, like, we love Final Fantasy. This is going to be great. She starts talking about all the handheld games, like The World Ends With You, all the pocket versions of everything. And Jeff and I are looking at each other like, this is basically Square Enix takes your Game Boy panel. We're not having... She doesn't know what she's talking about either with a lot of the stuff. Because at the end of the panel, she's asking like, I'm going to go through the Final Fantasies and you can like cheer for your favorite. And it was like Final Fantasy, not a lot of cheers. She gets up to like 6 and everybody's cheering. It's like, I don't think that Final Fantasy was that good. And everybody was like, what? And then at the end of it, someone was like, Chrono Trigger. And she was like, that's not a Square Enix game, is it? And everyone was like, are you serious? She gets to, we started discussing other Square Enix games because somebody was chanting like, Last Remnant, Last Remnant. So she had a slide on her PowerPoint about Last Remnant. And she was like, Last Remnant wasn't a very good game. Entire room boos her. Everybody collectively was like, we know this game is trash, but how dare you talk about it like that? The entire room boos her.
Where's the one guy?
Oh, man. So then she goes back to like, okay, back to our favorite Final Fantasy game. She gets to the end of it. She's like, what other games are your favorite? This most zealous rambunctious dude in the back. He's just like, tactics. Jeff and I are looking at each other like, where is this man? It's
Give him a thumbs up.
It's like, she didn't know about like tactics. She didn't know like about Chrono Trigger. She didn't like Final Fantasy VI. She didn't like Last Remnant.
Wow.
We went in there expecting like a person enthusiastic about Square Enix, but she was just talking about like handheld games and trash talking everybody's favorite Final Fantasy without not knowing anything.
Oh,
that was like one of the very first panels we ever went to.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Very nice. There was the moment when we were walking by. This was Otakon 2013. We were walking through the main room area, or where all the cosplay people were walking around and stuff. And we walked by, and then there's this, or was it in the dealer's room? There was this one person who. This guy walks over to the girl. You wanna?
Yeah,
I think you know about it.
It's the Attack on Titan story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the year Attack on Titan was huge. We were walking through the merchant room. It was against the wall, so it was the far right side. I think we're heading to the exit.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl was dressed up as one of the Survey Corps.
Yeah.
And this older gentleman, probably in his 50s or something, probably with his kids that wanted to go.
Yeah.
Walks up to the girl and say, "Hey, I've seen a lot of people dressed like that. What is that?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm dressed up as a character from Shingeki no Kyojin, more commonly referred to as Attack on Titan." And then we keep walking, and then it all clicks in our head at the same exact time. Like
we got outside the dealership,
yeah,
and then we're like,
me, Jeff, and Chase all look at each other like, "Did we really just hear that?" They're like, "What did you hear?" We're like, the Attack on Titan thing. We're like, "Yeah, that's what I heard." And like, just making sure we're all in agreement that she said it's Shingeki no Kyojin, more commonly referred to as Attack on Titan. We're like, "Yep, that's the anime fandom for you."
Wow.
2013, good year.
Was that your first year?
I assume it was because that was the year that it came out.
Oh yeah.
And
not wrong. Just
yeah.
What a way to say it.
Yeah, it's like it's a show called Attack on Titan, not Shingeki no Kyojin.
Just because you're right.
More commonly referred to as Attack on Titan.
In their defense, I called it Shingeki no Kyojin for the longest time because when I watched it subbed and everything.
Yeah.
And like I never referred to it as Attack on Titan unless I
was like,
to for some reason. Yeah, you were Attack on Titan all the time.
Yeah.
I just called it Shingeki or I pretty much just shortened it to Shingeki.
Yeah.
But then after Food Wars with Shokugeki, it had to be Attack on Titan because I couldn't refer to both.
They're too similar.
And I'd always called Food Wars Shokugeki.
I
I don't know why, because Food Wars and Attack on Titan are so much easier, but
yeah.
I just naturally gravitate. Well, I think it's partially because I was on Mal a lot more then.
Right.
Now having like access to Verve and stuff, where it's just you just go on there and do it. And then every once in a while you update Mal.
Yeah.
Mal would always have the Japanese name, which is what they listed. So that's the one I always saw when I would update it and whatever. So that's the reason probably behind using the Japanese name and then obviously shortening it to the most outstanding word in whatever the title is, because some of them got like 10 words in them. It's insane.
My little sister can't be this cute.
Erase.
Yeah.
Morimo.
Erase, I think has, no, not Erase, Anohana
Yeah.
has a really long stupid tail. There was also the 1 year where you just shut down the escalator.
Yeah,
Refuse it.
I broke the escalator at Otakon 1 year. We were coming down the escalator and my sandal got caught in the end of it. Managed to pull it out.
Just don't wear sandals.
It's in the middle of summer. I don't really care.
It's hot.
It gets to the point. So I remember our very first con. We brought tons of water bottles, jerky, candy, and stuff like. We're ready. We're prepared. We're ready to do this con.
Ready for war.
Yeah, and now we're just, and we'd always wear like super comfortable shoes that we can walk around in all day and make sure we have comfy pants and stuff on. Now I just go and I'm like, I got shorts, sandals. My bag has nothing in it.
Yep.
And I'm just like, whatever.
There was also the year, I think it was either 2014 or 2016. It was a year with Sam, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, we were walking through the Baltimore Convention Center at Otakon, and we were walking through a hallway, and there were just so many people that, like, we literally were in the hallway, and we just stopped. And it was just like, they had to move people out of the next room to get the hallway empty.
There were a couple times like that at this last Katsucon.
Yeah.
Just a couple times when I guess just the perfect storm of people trying to rush to some panel or something and things just halt.
I mean,
complete stop.
Katsucon's at a breaking point now where this, I think this has been their largest year.
It was
because they get up to like 30,000 people now.
It was packed.
When we started Katsucon, it was like 12,000 people.
Oh, it's literally doubled in size.
Yeah,
More than doubled.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
almost tripled.
That's insane.
There's a lot of people for Katsucon.
Yeah.
And what's it called? There's also the special event that happened last year with you know who.
What?
Huh?
Aaron.
Oh, that. Oh, you want to talk about that?
Do we want to talk about that?
Do we want to talk about that?
Let's just talk about what you were doing.
What I was doing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, so first con, obviously, I watched Sheena Meta. What a great show.
I'm not going to lie, though. After that event, I immediately watched it after the con and enjoyed every moment of it.
You watched it before the con, too, though. All right. Oh, you didn't?
I knew the character, but I never watched it.
Oh, man.
I watched it immediately after.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
She played that character to a T.
Yeah.
So I watched Sheena Meta. Absolutely loved it. It was just probably one of the funniest shows that I had seen at that point and still have seen. It was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw someone cosplaying as Blue Snow, obviously had to get a picture.
But
and it just made it
standing next to Jesus.
It just made it so much better that she was hanging out with Jesus. So I got a picture with both of them, and it was. Oh, it's phenomenal. I know I have that picture on my phone somewhere.
Put it up on
I'd
the
have
screen.
to find it. We'd have to find
There
that
it
picture.
is, everybody. You're looking at it right now.
Maybe if we can actually find the picture.
That's George.
It should be there. But yeah, that was. Oh, I love that. I cherish that picture. Whoever that cosplayer was, she cosplayed that character to a T. She did it perfectly. To the point that she was literally becoming that character.
Yes.
She was just handing out doujinshi hentai to passersby. Like,
we got our hands on some.
Oh,
thanks to her.
We did. Didn't necessarily want it.
Didn't expect it.
She handed it to the person who did not know what kind of character she was.
Yep.
Did not expect that to happen. I mean, it was like slow motion because I mean, I knew what was happening. I didn't know what was happening too. I didn't know how bad, but I knew what was happening. You saw it happening, and you saw it happening too. But I guess since you had,
I didn't know what was going on. I just saw his face, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I took it from him. And I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have this.
Yeah, because so she gave it to my brother, and he is, oh man, he was pretty sheltered back then. He's less so now that he started college classes and stuff, and he's just done more.
He's evolved.
Just like me, he was homeschooled for a long time. So, we didn't have like any of that kind of like public school stuff. So he hasn't had any kind of initiation into seeing things like that. And it just hit him hard.
It was a dumpster truck right to the face.
Oh, it was
beer truck.
It was hilarious. And then obviously we made him promise never to tell anyone ever.
Yep.
Because
now.
there's no way that if certain people found out about that, he'd ever be allowed to like leave the house again. It was hilarious.
It was a very different initiation for a con.
Oh man. Great. Still my favorite experience though. That's going to be a great story forever.
It's one of the better con experiences we've ever seen.
Oh man. I love it. I love that story. I need to make sure I still have that picture somewhere.
Because
I'm sure
for all
I
the
do,
years me, Jeff, and Chase have gone, it's all been pretty normal. We've had our weird quirks and stuff going on. That was the crazy. Jeff wasn't even there for it too.
Yeah,
he was at the
he was in the line.
concert. Yeah.
That's just man, I love it.
Yep,
I love it so much.
Let's see. We talked about the Oremo thing last episode.
Yeah,
an episode ago. Yeah,
it's episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
Well, an episode ago from the last episode.
Yeah, we'll just say episode 2 to not confuse people.
Episode 2.
It was in episode 2. We talked about Oremo.
Yeah, you heard it.
We went to the world premiere in 2013.
You heard it. You listened to things in order.
Yeah, that was an experience.
I wish I could have experienced that because I just watched Oremo and it was just wrong. It was good, but it was wrong.
Watching with like several hundred other people with the writer and my director and stuff, it was great.
Let's see. Was there anything else?
That's pretty much all the major stuff that's happening.
I think we got all the big events. Yeah.
And most of the time, just we go to cons.
2017. We were walking back to the hotel.
Oh yeah. So it was the first year they moved Otakon to DC. So we stayed at the Hilton. That was a few blocks away.
Yeah.
And the first time we were trying to walk to the convention center was great because we walked right beside a weed and seed neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jeff's phone took us through an alley.
Yeah. We walked right by a weed and seed neighborhood. We were just trotting along. We're like, I think we're going down the wrong road, but we're committed at this point. So we're just walking to the convention center. But it was the last day of the con.
Okay.
We were walking back from the convention center back to the hotel. And there was this homeless lady that kind of hung outside the hotel the entire time we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the last day we walked by the, is it Harris Teeter that was on the corner?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was the Harris Teeter at the corner. And we walked by and she was hanging right there. And she looks at me and she was like, "Hey, that's a nice badge. That's for the convention, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Give me your badge." I'm like, "No." She's like, "Give me your badge."
Give me your badge.
And I was like, no. I look at Jeff and she's just keep walking. And we just
Jeff didn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, we pulled right to our hotel and then it started raining later. And she was like inside hanging out at the bar with all the other homeless people. I was just like, "Oh, I've got my badge on me. I hope she doesn't chase me down in the hotel."
Start strangling you. Give me your badge.
It's just I've never experienced it in Baltimore. Having a homeless person yell at me to give me my badge.
No, man. It's mine.
Yeah,
stop.
There was a lot of homeless people when we were walking through there.
Yeah.
There was that homeless Asian lady that was there the entire time.
We shouldn't have stayed there. I liked how we did it with the metro.
Yeah, that's how we're going to do it now.
Yeah.
But
that worked.
I think we were just doing that because it's new. We've always stayed at a hotel. We don't know what's going on.
There was the one from 2016. It was the last day and we were heading back. And what's it called? Jeff called the Uber.
There's two of them with this one. The first one, it was the same night.
Yeah.
And a taxi dude pulled up. He was like, "Hey," he had some African accent. He was asking us like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" And we're like, "No, we called an Uber." He was like, "Where are you going?" And we're like, "We're going over here." He was like, "How much is it?" We told him how much. He's like, "I'm cheaper than Uber." We're like, "No, we already got an Uber." And then he got really mad at us. And he was like, "Screw you guys." And then he gives us the finger and he was like, F Uber.
Guys.
They're like, we're sorry, my dude. And then
He's a great salesman. I gotta give it to him.
I mean, he was
He pulled out
he really
all the
wanted
stops.
us to, ride in the taxi. But
Get in my car.
we're standing there waiting for the Uber, and we're just standing outside the hotel behind the convention center. And Jeff gets a call, and he was like, I am the Uber. And Jeff was like, what? And he was like, I am the Uber. And Jeff was like, oh, you're the Uber. He was like, where are you guys? And we were like, oh, we're standing right here. And he was like, oh, I can see you. And we're like, okay. We're just like, what is this? I am the Uber.
Good sentence. Good
yeah.
sentence.
That was a good year too, because that one had the Matsuri Festival that we went
Oh,
to
yeah.
with the
Mass
Persona.
Fest. Yeah. That was fun.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then,
Oh, that was the year with Lotus Juice and all that.
yeah, Lotus
And
Juice and What's Her Face.
It's the Persona 4 singer.
Yeah.
And there was this big dude. He was big dude. It's 6 feet, like 6, towering over everybody, yelling the entire time, mass destruction! Play mass destruction! Chase just looks over and he was like, that's a Persona 3 song. And I was like, I know, Chase. He's like, that's the Persona 4 singer.
But Lotus Juice is there. That's the Persona 4.
Yeah, that was a good year because
man.
did the Mass Fest and all that.
Yeah. We even went to the bookstore that year too.
Yeah, the manga.
The Barnes and Noble place. Yeah. We just
hung
went
out
to
in
the manga section.
Where all the other weebs were after
Yeah.
the Matsuri
So,
Festival.
some dude
That's
literally
great.
pulled out like 5 volumes and was just sitting there and reading them.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect him. He's not going to pay for it.
Gotta
He's
have that list.
he's just going to sit there and read it.
Nothing wrong with that.
It'd take him an hour to read all that, so why not?
Still,
Let's see.
just do it.
Anything else?
No,
I mean, George doesn't have a lot of
I
stories.
don't
He's only
have
done
a whole lot
years.
going. We've
Yeah.
been 2 cons,
Yeah,
Otakon,
I mean-
Katsucon.
We've been to MagFest too. That's not really weed.
MagFest hasn't really had too much going
Yeah.
on with them.
I mean,
Yeah.
Katsucon and Otakon. I mean, we're still planning on doing them until we die.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
So,
as long as
I
I
mean,
get off work and stuff,
my
we're good.
plan is to be like that old guard.
There's the old guard. Here it comes. Get him.
Oh yeah.
What's happening?
The old guard.
That always has the suspenders.
It just has all of the badges
Yeah.
from all the cons hanging off.
Real
Yeah.
quick, you're just still recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because my disc apparently is full, so it stopped recording on this one. So the audio might change for a second,
All right.
if anything.
Or you could just only use mine.
Or I could only use yours. It's true.
All right.
That's why we do record.
This is the technical difficulties.
It's not that technical.
How's your disk drive?
Yeah, what do you mean?
We got stored on there.
Let's check that. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
How much memory is this taking out?
Wait, are we even done with this episode?
I mean, unless we got anything else to say.
I ain't got nothing
Because
else
if
to
we're
say.
having technical difficulties on one computer, we might as well just wrap it up so we don't
It's not that
make
way.
this too hard to edit later.
I mean, we hit an hour.
I mean,
Yeah, that's.
I don't have much else to talk about cons.
Yeah,
Our
I-
con experiences are pretty normal.
Yeah.
We got some fun stuff.
There's some fun.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's pretty normal.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to this extra episode of BakaTaka, the convention episode.
Extra episode 2.
Extra episode number 2. And with us, as always, is
3.
technically it's 3, but I haven't put out the second one yet, so we'll call this one 2.
Okay.
It's an extra episode.
It's an extra episode. And with us, as always, has been
George.
And Eric.
and I'm Chase, and we'll see y'all next time. Flex on them haters.
Peace.
Peace out.
tried so hard, but in the end,
I hit it.